Hi there, I'm Kirsten Deasy, District Principal of Learning, Innovation and Childcare. And today we're going to bring you some short clips of some of our Literacy Committee members who are going to be telling you about some of the ways that we've been surfacing and celebrating the literacy and the stories of our students this year.
Story workshop is a technique we use with young children, works really well in kindergarten to grade 3, where we put out materials for the students to play out their stories. We can use a variety of materials. Often we call them loose parts, and sometimes they change according to other things that the students are interested in learning in the classroom. So we might integrate it into themes that we're working on, or different types of settings or characters that we might be introducing to the students. One of the advantages of using Story Workshop is it allows the students to play out their ideas while they're generating the stories. There's many ways that the students then record their stories. Often at the beginning of the year, adults write down their stories, so there's a lot of oral language practice. As the year progresses, students learn how to record their stories on apps such as Book Creator, or take pictures of their stories on iPads. Often the students will write down their stories or record them with pictures. This is when we start seeing the emergent spelling, and also the beginning of using sight words and other conventions of writing. The students often love to have their stories shared on Fresh Grade, or share them with their peers, share them with adults in the classroom.
Can you read it? Person went to the market because it wanted to buy some toys. It bought a teddy bear.
Wow, thanks.
The advantages of Story Workshop, especially in beginning kindergarten and grade 1, is the oral language, and they're able to develop a story through to the end and talk about it. And those children who struggle with language, we have seen such a huge growth in their language due to their story making.
So he cut down a tree because he saw an island, so he walked over the bridge he made, and looked under here, he found a seed, and he looked over here, there was more, and he saw a cat. And he said, "Can I please be friends with you?" And the cat said yes, and then he stayed for a little.
Let's give him a big hand. I need it. Thank you. I like how he acted the story out by moving the animals and moving things. So isn't that cool? When you draw a picture, can you move parts of your picture?
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about Story Workshop. When you're using materials, sometimes we call them loose parts. You can move them, you can act it out, you can take pictures of the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end. So that's
I'm Jane Ostashek, and I'm the teacher librarian at Langdale Elementary and have been teaching there for over 20 years. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Story Workshop. Story Workshop isn't commonly done with older intermediate students. So we tried this project. Another teacher in the district who's very well versed in it, Patty Dressler from West Sechelt, visited my school for the whole day. And we had every single class come through the library, where our theme was winter, I believe. It was winter. And so Patty helped bring all the materials, and we set up a watercolor station, and kids could choose a place to be and start to create and use their hands and build and all kinds of things. And then they started to tell their story. And the younger kids, of course, it was oral storytelling. We didn't have a lot of time for them to develop their writing per se, but they told their stories orally. And then the next thing I knew, the older kids just progressed into writing a poem or writing a story or just using some descriptive words for what they had created, whether painting or building. And now our teachers are very inspired, and they can see the value of creating a story through play, through using materials. And now we are collecting our own materials and thinking about themes that the whole school could work on, and having materials for that and sharing our stories together.
This year, our literacy committee has had a wonderful experience having Adrienne Gear in, working with our teachers and promoting reading and love of literacy and poetry, of course. Our teachers at our school took it on and did workshops with their own colleagues on how to bring out student voice with poetry. And it has been so amazing to watch students write poetry, read poetry, and just love to learn all about it.
Thanks to our partnership with the Sunshine Coast Festival of the Written Arts and celebrating authors' books and community, we've been able to bring amazing authors to our students this year. In Family Literacy Week, for instance, we were able to highlight Tanya Lloyd-Kai, who celebrated her book, My Green City, and brought messages about environmental stewardship and how we can take care of making our own backyards and cities greener. Her daughter joined us later that week when the two of them highlighted their book, Better Connected, that focuses on how social media can be used to make the world a better place. We had many authors visit us, even award-winning authors Kevin Sylvester, Faith Erin Hicks, and Kuljindi Koi-Brow with her book, My Name is Sajid Sin. And then we had amazing Indigenous voices with Leona Gabrielle Prince and their book, Be a Good Ancestor, Tioni Spathfeller, and Monique Gray Smith. In 1 week alone, we had more than 2,000 students engage with authors during Family Literacy Week this past January.
Coastal Voices, our district writing anthology. What could be better than celebrating student writing on the coast? Coastal Voices is our annually published collection of wonderful student writing. And it's such an inspiring opportunity for our students to find their voices, to realize the power of their words, to make someone think, to move someone, even to change their world. Students come to know that their lives and their stories are the stuff of literature. It allows them to see themselves anew as a published writer with important things to say. Here's Sienna reading her poem, The Tree's Embrace.
The tree's embrace. The tree was always there for me when I needed it. When I was sad, it would sway me in its soft branches, like a mother comforting a crying child. When I was mad, I would just sit there among its branches, the breeze blowing into our faces, calming me. When I was feeling particularly devious, we would spy on my brother and his friends, her branches carrying the faint whisper of their words, just loud enough for us to hear. Later, I would run squealing, my brother chasing me. I'd lose him and dash up the branches, staying as still as I could, hiding under the quivering leaves while he searched for me. Together we would watch the symphonies of the fluttering clouds moving swiftly across the pale blue sky.